This is a DVD review of a new DVD on Sasquatch called Bigfoot, A Beast on the Run. Oops, a little bit of a glare there. Sorry about that. Anyhow, this is the DVD cover. Kind of see it says Bigfoot, A Beast on the Run. You can see that. The principals involved in this documentary are Dr. Henry Fehrenbach, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, a fellow named Todd Lindbergh, who got a recording of something, a strange sound recording out in the woods. Let's see, also featured is M.K. Davis on the Patterson-Gimlin film, pre the massacre nonsense. Don Monroe is also featured, and the rather grandiose and braggadocious Tom Biscardi. Yes, Tom Biscardi is part of this new documentary. And he's making grandiose claims about he's going to have a Sasquatch captured in 48 hours. 48 hours. And this was shortly before the Coast to Coast AM fiasco, where he claimed he had a Sasquatch in captivity, or his team had a Sasquatch in captivity, and that he and his team were heading out to see the supposed Sasquatch, which turned out there were allegedly two Sasquatches. Of course, we all know what happened after that. They were supposedly let go, or something like, or there was no Bigfoot. That was it. That happened almost 5 years ago. But anyway, that was filmed about that time. That segment with Biscardi was filmed about that time. And then you also have a fellow named Neil Bergstaller, who believes in the paranormal Bigfoot. Believes that Bigfoot actually turns into orbs that get into people's hair. I know, sounds crazy, but that's the basic gist of something that happened in the documentary. There was also Jason Valenti, who of course has an excellent website, Sasquatch Research I think it's .net, or maybe .com, or it used to be .com, now it's .net. Valenti and a group of friends go to a place called Area 62 to do some call blasting, and they attempt to get some responses. You got Tom Biscardi and his group, at that time the Great American Bigfoot Research Organization, going to an area near Happy Camp, California to investigate sightings, and Todd Lindbergh and a friend of his go to Longbow, which is a research conference that was organized by Ray Crow. M.K. Davis is seen there, and he's seen discussing the Patterson-Gimlin film. The Ray Wallace claims are examined in connection with the Patterson-Gimlin film. Is claimed that by some that Wallace's wife was in the suit. And then we switch to the laboratory of Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who gives the Patterson-Gimlin film a thumbs up and discusses some of the footprints, and some of the footprints in his collection. Of course, he includes the one on the mid-tarsal break. The narrator says that to some, Sasquatch is tabloid science, but several new species were discovered in 2005 alone, plus some more strange aspects such as Bigfoot and UFOs, interdimensionality, and other weird stuff. Meldrum is asked how this affects his research. He says he's not worried about it. There's a Native American named Twi'lek of the Karuk tribe, who shares what Bigfoot is to he and his people. He's not too impressed with Biscardi and his group in Happy Camp. We later see two members of Biscardi's group in the area searching for evidence, that being Linda Martin and Robert Story. Linda Martin has since split ways with Biscardi and his group. We also see Tom Powell, the author of The Locals. He's seen at his home in Oregon, where he's searching his garden for tracks. He's attempting to raise bees to produce honey to attract a Sasquatch to his home. It's interesting. An interesting method of trying to attract a Sasquatch to his home. Referring to Tom Powell, he has a camera set up to take a photo. He's got a few blob squatches, but nothing definitive. Powell says that strange things have happened around his home, where he's had things come up missing, or he's had what appears to be his house broken into, not by Sasquatch, but by possibly government agencies, things of that nature. Don Monroe takes the filmmakers into a cave. He says he wants to capture a Sasquatch. He takes them into a cave where he claims he's found evidence of Sasquatch and has found what appear to be footprints and handprints, things of that nature. Dr. Fehrenbach actually takes the film crew to the Glenn Thomas pits near Estacada, Oregon, where Glenn Thomas allegedly saw a family of Sasquatches eating ground squirrels. This was back in 1967. We also meet Peggy Marks, the widow of Ivan Marks. Yes, that Ivan Marks. Peggy claims she photographed a Sasquatch many years ago, and the photo is taken to Dr. Jeff Meldrum, and he declares it a hoax. Biscardi doesn't seem to like that. He seems to be bad-mouthing those who declare the Marks photos and films hoaxes. He attempts to make more grandiose claims of capturing a Sasquatch. He again says that by the time the movie comes out, the Bigfoot will be captured. Says that the capture will happen within 48 hours. Todd Lindbergh's recording is presented to several different researchers. Meldrum says it sounds familiar to other alleged Sasquatch recordings. There's been no captured Bigfoot, as we all know, since the movie was filmed. All the principals have their own opinions on the reality of Sasquatch. The extra content is interesting. It has a little bit with Biscardi. There's about 10 minutes with Jeff Meldrum talking about the reasons he's in the research and the interests that he has as far as the reasons why he's interested in the Sasquatch and the reasons that he does what he does and the theories that he has on the Sasquatch, things of that nature. We see a little bit more with Tom Powell in his home. We see more with Neil Bergstahler. M.K. Davis, we don't see a whole lot more with him. Matter of fact, we don't see him in the extras at all. We see most of the other principals in the documentary. All in all, this is a really, really excellent documentary. This is a really excellent documentary. I would give it a 4 3/4 out of 5 stars. It's really excellent. It's really good. I recommend getting it if you can get a hold of it. It's on Amazon.com. It's also on eBay. That's Bigfoot, a Beast on the Run. Get it. It's good.